Hi everyone, how are you? Ronnie the Nomad here. I'm back. Now I have an interesting story here, but at the same time it's sad. So if you like the story, I'm gonna be having more stories to come. Now, while going through the internet, I came across this story, which happened in Beirut, Lebanon. It was an explosion involving a ship which carried an explosive substance called ammonium nitrate. So let's chip in and let's see. Now, around 2013, a cargo ship called MV Rhosus, as you look at the photo here, left Georgia to Mozambique. Mozambique is in Africa. Georgia, I don't know, but now, so that's 2013. The ship was carrying this substance called ammonium nitrate, and for those who did chemistry, ammonium nitrate is a mixture of ammonia and nitrogen. Yeah, chemistry. I did well in chemistry, but right now I remember very little about it. Yeah, so this ship was carrying around 3 tons. 3 tons is around 3,000 kilograms. Because 1 ton goes to 1,000 kilograms. So that 3 tons, you can imagine 3 tons. It's very, very heavy. So, now the ship sails. We say it sets sail, right? Yeah. And I'm referring to this because it gives me now the route. I don't want to mix up the story. Now, the ship was believed to be owned by this group of terrorists, just like Al-Shabaab in Kenya and Somalia. There's a terrorist group called Hezbollah. I'll delve deeper into that if this story goes on well in the next video. Right now, this ship was owned by a group called Hezbollah. But now it was also believed that the cargo, the ammonium nitrate, was owned. The owner was a Russian businessman known as Skin. There's a photo here, right? There's a photo here. This guy here with beards. I have the photos of him being as younger, when he was young. Now, the next step. Now, you remember, there's what we call negligence. As a human, it's negligence. So this ammonium nitrate is very explosive. So on this ship called MV Rhosus, you remember MV Rhosus? The photo is placed here. So the ship was carrying other things. It was heavy. So on top of the container containing the ammonium nitrate, they placed heavy cargo. For example, let's say let's say cars, let's say heavy machinery, let's say for example metals. Yes. So now it was heavy, just like when you place a big stone on top of a container of water. So the container will lose shape and it will crumple. So that's the same thing that happened. So they placed the cargo on top. Now the doors to the container containing the MV, the ammonium nitrate, now started losing shape, and okay, it was affected. The container was affected. It was no longer safe. So you see, those are the negligence. Now, while the ship was moving, it developed some issues. So it had to pull over the port of Beirut along the way. It couldn't continue with the journey. So the ship pulled over, and then the port authorities inspected the ship and deemed it as unfit for traveling again. It couldn't go on with the journey, so they had to stop the ship at the port until the issue is solved. Now, so the ship stayed on that port of Beirut in Lebanon for 6 good years. So remember, it set sail from Panama, Georgia, at around 2013. So it stayed at the port of Beirut for around 6 years. Around at the end of 2018, the port authorities decided to dispose the cargo because it was very, very dangerous. So it now they recommended that the cargo be sold to the soldiers, to the government, or to make it useful, to make it useful. So because the owner went bankrupt and he abandoned the ship. Even the crew which was in that ship, it was around 9 people. The 4 were repatriated back, and those who remained to guard the ship could not go back to their countries because of the immigration problems, you see. But finally they were taken back. Now that was around 2019, August 2020. Now we are in 2020. Around 5 p.m. in the evening. 5 p.m. in Kenya is evening, yeah, when everyone is rushing back home, maybe after work. So fire broke out in the warehouse 12. I love the photo here. Warehouse 12. Let's say there were a number of warehouses there. Warehouse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to 12. Fire broke out. Remember, heavy machinery was placed on top of that container, and you know how much it's delicate, and you know how dangerous is ammonium nitrate. It's very explosive. So the fire broke out. Now a number of soldiers were sent to put out the fire. So the fire, a member of 5 soldiers, a member of 10 soldiers called Platoon 5 tried to put out the fire, but now the fire had a strange sound, and it was burning in a very totally different, very strange manner. Now around 30 seconds later, a more serious explosion took place. In that warehouse, the explosion was so big that the tremor was felt in the neighboring countries of Cyprus and Egypt, 240 kilometers away. Is it 240 kilometers or 240 miles? 240 kilometers. 240 kilometers away. You can imagine the impact of that explosion. Look at that video. The skies was filled with brown. Is it brown or orange?
شوفوا يا جماعة، السلام عليكم. شوفوا انفجار بيروت لا يعقل والله. كيف وصل الدخان إلى البقاع الغربي كل لبنان، سماء لبنان.
Smoke, you can imagine. It was considered one of uh, the biggest explosion, non-nuclear, in a nuclear explosion. You can imagine that. So hold on, I'll tell you, we're almost done. I'll tell you what actually caused the explosion. Just pure negligence. I'll tell you what happened. So, now, aftermath of explosion, 218 people were killed. 7,000 people were injured, and a total loss of property worth 15 billion US dollars in August 2020. I think it was during COVID, right? It was during COVID. And another 150 people were permanently disabled. They cannot walk again, or they cannot do, part of their bodies were amputated or lost. Now, this is what caused the explosion. After the investigations and all those things, it was established that the sparks was caused. Okay, the fire was caused by workers who are welding the doors. Remember the place, the structure was tampered with, so they were welding the structure. So you can imagine people welding a container which has explosives. And the container didn't only have ammonia, it also had bags of fireworks. Look at the negligence that was there. So the warehouse 12 was that room which all the those things which was everything was kept there from the ships which were arrested, so they could keep everything there. So imagine keeping fireworks and ammonium nitrate at the same place. And to make it worse, people welding, and when you're welding, there's sparks. It's just like lighting up lighting a match near an overturned petrol tanker. You can imagine the danger. That's right. So it's so ridiculous. Yeah, that's it. That's the story I really wanted to share with you. And if you like the story, tell me to bring out more. Yes, it's so hot here. I had to close my windows. You see, this is Garden City at the other side. Now, the last thing before I cut this video, let me open the window. After the investigations, again, it was also noted that after it was found out that during the time of explosion, only 20% of the 3,000 tons was there. So if you do the calculations, only 20% was there at the time of explosion. That should be around 600 kilos of ammonium nitrate was there during the time of explosion. Where are the 2,400 kilos? Where are the 2 tons? 2.5 tons of ammonium nitrate? Definitely someone took them. As usual, the government does the job. I don't know who did it, but 2.5 tons were not there. I don't know. Even if I compare the size of the explosion and the amount that it was claimed was there, I don't believe. Okay, I won't judge, but the explosion definitely was of 3,000 tons. I don't know. So if you like the video, please like it, subscribe and share. That's the start of more stories to come. Correction will come. Bye.